Welcome to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike. I'm coming at you with the weekly news and review for August 4th. And we're going to start out by talking about some official yet unofficial information on Fans Toys figures. Starting with this acoustic wave. Now, Shozi has these up for pre-order, but they don't have a release date, they don't have a price, they don't have a whole lot of information, but they do have some pictures, some faux colored pictures here. This looks like the work of Cheebs, but I don't see it. Anyhow, this is the kind of stuff that makes me start to wonder. Now, I see two tapes in this picture. Makes me think he comes with a Laserbeak and Ravage. And maybe the other two tapes, or three, I guess it would be three other tapes that they would make, would come separate. We don't know this. These are assumptions based off this picture, but it's pretty exciting that we see some colorization to this. And I'm excited about this guy. You could pre-order this guy for $3. Now, if you pre-order for $3, then when it shows up, you pay for the rest through Shozi store, and it will be a total of $6 less than the original price. So let's say it comes out for $150, then you'd only owe $144 at the time that it shows up. So that's a pretty good deal. Now, full disclosure, I am working with Shozi to become a partner with them so that I can get more product to review for you. Next up, we have some colored pictures of Spindrift 2.0, and I can guarantee you that we will be looking at Spindrift 2.0 very soon in a review of mine. Hint, hint, hint. But I gotta say, with the colorization to it, it does look pretty good. It's still kind of hard to tell if it's going to beat the X-Transbots version, but whether or not, I'm still getting this to review for everybody, because I think that it's that important. And yes, you could pre-order the Zetas, Unicron, and on Shozi store. They even go out to point out it's not just a head, that it is a full-size Unicron. There's no size, there's no release. Well, there actually is a release date. They expect it to be out in February of 2020. Now, the rumor was December of this year, but February 2020 is the release date that Shozi shows, and I think it's like $3 to reserve this guy. Pretty interesting information, and I'm not going to talk about it just yet. Yeah, maybe I should. Okay, so real quick, HasLab Unicron is a thing. You have right at a month, I guess, until they close it up, and you cannot order this thing unless you want to pay premiums to third parties. And it's going to be $575 plus tax, so $627. So you have till the very end of this month. So September 1st is too late. So by the end of this month to get your order in and have your payment figured out, and they will bill you on the very last day of this month. So August 31st, you get billed. And then it's 27 inches tall and all this great stuff. I have an update number 2 that I already put up, so watch that. I'm thinking about doing weekly updates just because I want to get the information out there. And by the way, I guarantee this thing is going to get backed. And in my next update number 3, I will give you like 10 reasons why I guarantee this thing's going to get backed. I'm not worried about it backing. I'm worried about you missing out. Don't miss out if this is a thing that you want. If you don't want it, don't worry about it. Next up, I want to talk about this. This is a Ravage, and I would say this is like a Beast Wars Ravage, and I believe it's MMC making this guy, and it looks pretty cool. And I know I touched on it, but it's now up for pre-order on Shozi, as you can see, and I think I'm a Ravage fan. I gotta say, Ravage is in my top 5. And how can an accessory from an old school figure be one of my top 5 figures? Well, I love to see this guy in Beast Wars, but I felt like it wasn't the right way to present Ravage in Beast Wars. But I accepted the fact that it was different and it was a differentiation from G1. And so I still appreciate it, and I kind of want to get this guy. So next up, we've all been kind of wondering what happened to DX9. Where are the other 2 limbs from DX9? They're falling behind X-Transbots. They are probably going to fall behind Fans Toys, and they may just drift off into obscurity. Well, they're making a movie version of Hot Rod, and I gotta say, I'm a sucker for a Lamborghini, so I suck because I don't like movie stuff and I kind of want this, and I really need to focus on Unicron, not this, but it looks good. I mean, they've listed this as Hot Rod. I just don't really remember Hot Rod looking like this in the movie, but maybe I just didn't pay enough attention to the movie, or maybe I only watched it once or half. I don't know. Anyway, I think it's a cool looking alt mode. I think it's a cool looking bot, and this is the kind of stuff that's like, you know, on the fringe. I would call this a fringe item that I can live without, but it's so cool I kind of want it. Man, this week is cram-packed full of stuff. Before I get into mainline Siege or any of that, I consider this kind of masterpiece when you go to Legends, but Magic Square is making Cosmos, and of course, as you could expect, it is the best looking Cosmos in the scale of Legends, and I think it's a beautiful looking figure. And of course, it has the alt mode that also has, I don't know if it actually has the little, you know, beam me up Scotty kind of feature to it that you could stick under it and put maybe a little figure under there or something, who knows. But it looks good. It looks like it's probably going to be an easy transformation, and I gotta say, why doesn't Magic Square dabble in Masterpiece more? Because these little guys are so good, you could upscale most of them. So then the other Magic Square thing is you're going to get a white version of their Prime, and this is $10 less, but you don't get a trailer and all the other accessories. So it's, you know, Ultra Magnus. I don't know. They give us some Ultra Magnus that's decent, and I don't know. I don't know if this is something I'm in for. I'm definitely not in for it, but it's $10 less. Maybe if it was only $30 instead of $40, I don't know. What do you think? Now, for some real Ultra Magnus news, by the way, I did do a retrospective of all the Ultra Magnus figures that were out there. Love all the wonderful things I missed and inconsistencies that were pointed out. Hey, that's part of the fun. This is a KO oversized version of the Magic Squares that gives you an actual chamber. And McFan's Toys is, in my opinion, the greatest part of Legends. Even though this is, a cheaty, steely copy, take away from Magic Square, and then make it better. You know, it's, gosh, man, it's kind of like, it's hard to really be mad at them when they make it better like this. But a nice little chest compartment in there. Looks like a really nice Matrix. I've already got the Magic Square. Now I kind of want this. It's going to be too big for the shelf that I store them on, so there's a problem. But looking at it. So next up, Magic Square Blaster's getting up. Well, it's getting made by McFan's Toys, but according to the dimensions that I'm reading, it's not getting upscaled, which I think might be a mistake or a typo or an error. I don't know. I got to tell you that I'm kind of chilling out on Legends for a little bit, simply because I'm trying to afford two of the Unicrons. But if this is upscaled and it's bigger and it's the size of McFan's Toy stuff, I'm going to have a lot of trouble saying no to it. And I need to be able to start saying no a little more often, but it's going to be hard when you look at this guy. And yeah, it's an unpainted prototype. It would look beautiful with paint and all of that. This is just pure casted plastic, and it already looks decent. Wait till it's painted. So we have painted Seacons for the Hasbro version. This set is going to cost quite a bit, and I think it's going to be like an exclusive set, and I don't even know if I'm going to be in on it because I have kind of given up on Chug, but my appreciation for the fact that they're doing it, because I have a lot of friends that ask me about this, and you know, the Abominus, and I had an extra Abominus I let one of my friends get off of me, and I'm thinking, you know, I'm kind of done with Combiner Wars, Power of the Primes kind of stuff, but this is cool. And I actually have the G1 version, and this does trump the G1 version by a long shot. And it is interesting, and I didn't really think it'd be that interesting the way that they're doing it, but each limb is actually going to be like a quadruple changer. So you're going to have the alt mode, and the alt mode look good. You're going to have like the arm mode. You're going to have the leg mode. You're going to have the gun mode. And then you're still going to have like a robot mode. So it's kind of a quintuple changer, and they each transform into a gun. Now, I think they might be going a little bit too far. It's a far stretch, but some of the figures would lend themselves better to being guns and being weapons versus the other ones that maybe won't. But we only see 2 of the painted ones, and with all of the different modes, it's kind of interesting though. So we've gotten more pictures of Ratbat, and Ratbat looks good. I gotta admit, as good as it looks, he's gonna be ridiculous small. That's the downside to it. But he's going to be ridiculous cheap. It's $10 for a 2-pack. So you're going to be spending $5 for this guy. But you're really going to feel like you wasted your other $5 on this dude. Mr. Super Stubbs. Stubby arms, stubby legs. I got to say, this will be the easiest transformation you've ever transformed in your life. But at what cost? I still like it, and I start to think that we'll probably get a Ravage. Hopefully we get a Ravage with Rumble. And again, I'm going to set this straight. Blue is Rumble. End of story. There's no arguing. There's no discussion. There's no debate. Blue is Rumble. And it dies now. Next, there's this Targetmaster. I guess I could have gotten all the names and stuff. But I have jumped full force in on these Targetmasters because of all of these cool little blast effects they have, and because I can get them at Walmart for $3 a piece, so why not? And I can get 2 or 3 of them because my son likes them. My son's already done lots of blast effects, so that hurts my heart a bit, but whatever. Here's another one, and they look good, man. I don't even have all of the names 100%. I'm not 100% sure. One's Rung, one's Singe, I guess. Was that what it is? This is Singe? Singe and Rung? But they look good, and they're remolds, they're repaints of, already existing molds, but it doesn't matter. Next up, I want to talk about these RC Chromia, and there's another one. It's a 3-pack Studio Series, and it's listed on Entertainment Earth as $19.99, and it says 3-pack for $19.99. I don't know if you're actually going to be able to get all 3 for $19.99 or if they're $19.99 each. I don't know. I don't get that. That's like I'm trying to find information for you guys on this, but they're deluxe size. So deluxe size equals $20 a piece, but then again, maybe each one of these is smaller, so you could get one deluxe size box of 3. I don't know, because I don't see packaging. So that'll be interesting to find out. I would personally like to find out, just so I know. But I used to have these. I sold them off back in the day. I had the other deluxe version, but they are pretty cool. So there's a couple pictures of some more Studio Series figures that are coming, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not big on Bayverse stuff, and I sold my Bayverse stuff off, but this stuff does look cool, and I think that it's an enhancement to what we had in the past, and so it does look better. It looks closer to the Bayverse, and I think they kind of took some of the extra extreme massive partiness out of it, the paneliness out of it. I don't know how to explain it. The panels or it just looked too granular. I don't know, but these look smoother and a little bit better in my opinion. Next, we got a Moo model Transformers 3D puzzle G1 Wheeljack. Now this is die-cast metal from my understanding, and you build this thing, and somebody said that the Soundwave and something else, they took like 7 hours for them to make it. I don't know if they just were slow at it or what, but it's interesting. Now, I know I did a model and it wasn't even this intricate, and I appreciate actual Transformers. I don't know if this will transform or not. I don't think it does. I don't think the last ones did transform either. They just were model kits you built, and they look good. I'm wondering about this thing. It looks interesting, and I kind of like it in a way. And I think the fact that it doesn't transform is why you can get it to look so good. And then the fact you have something metal in your collection, and I think it would present well on a Masterpiece shelf, but I'm not sure about height, size. There's a lot of details that we're really not 100% sure about, but they say the previous models were around $60, so you can expect to pay $60 and spend, I don't know, 2 of your days off working on it. So next up, I want to talk about this Cyberverse version of Jetfire, and I'm a Jetfire freak, and I even broke down and I bought pretty much every version of Jetfire there's out, and there's like a hero mashups Jetfire I have. I don't know why. I'm gonna have trouble fighting this off just because it's Jetfire, but it's cool looking. It's Cyberverse. It is what it is. It's Jetfire. I mean, that's probably my favorite character, so it's hard to say no. But some of you guys might say, "Oh, that's easy. I got fan toys." So I like to transition to Star Wars with something really cool and quirky and different. And this dude made, look at this dude! He made a Galvatron costume that looks amazing. And I gotta give him props to doing such a great job of making a Galvatron costume that I'm so jealous because it almost looks as good as my Optimus Prime costume I made when I was 10 years old. Out of cardboard and no paint and tape, and this took the whole Saturday, and I only got one hand done. I only got one finger of the other hand done. I figured I'd share this picture. I came across it, and I just looking at that dude's Galvatron made me want to find my picture of my Optimus Prime when I was like 10. And of course my kids get a kick out of this, seeing me at 10 in my Optimus Prime costume. So I always say, I feel like every week I say, oh, there's not much Star Wars news. There's nothing Star Wars. So I got creative. I went out of the box and I started talking to some of my Star Wars collector friends that keep giving me some news. And I'm going to start off with rumors. The rumor is there is a Count Dooku in the 6-inch line. So the Black Series 6-inch, Count Dooku on the way, a Wedge Antilles, which makes sense. You just take the X-Wing Luke and pop a new head on it. Same helmet, right? There's a Commander Bly, which is a clone trooper that I was informed, and a Jar Jar Binks all on the way in the 6-inch line. So that's rumor. So I didn't even fetch pictures because they don't exist, because it's rumor. But what I want to talk about is what's about to start shipping and what excites me. The thing that excites me the most right now is this skiff to go with your cell barge. And I got a couple of few coming in. This thing looks good and it's wider than the original, and I've talked about it before, but it should be shipping soon. And I got a shipping notice that mine will be shipped on the 5th. That's, tomorrow, Monday it'll ship out. And to go with that, I've got my 3-pack of skiff cards. Now, I gotta say that one of these figures on the right here was selling for like $70 by himself. And now they're reissuing the guy, and they're gonna reissue everything. And so that's just the way it is. But I actually was at Oklahoma City Comic-Con, which is a very, very small event, so it wasn't worth making a video over, but they were selling these for $50 there. I considered buying it, but I'm waiting for HasLab. Now I kind of wish I would have just bought it. Next up, I'm wondering how long it takes to finish edging a lawn next door, but this Black Series version of Emperor Palpatine is starting to ship soon. I jumped in to get my pre-order at Amazon. Now, this is an Amazon exclusive. The other things I talked about were HasLab, and maybe you can get them at Amazon too, but I know I ordered them on HasLab. But I'm looking forward to this because I'm actually going to do an extensive review of the different versions of the 6-inch Black Series guards. If you don't know about them, you'll want to tune into that. And circling back around HasLab stuff, or Hasbro Pulse, whatever. Hasbro Pulse, HasLab. These figures, the Newsy and Grothy, if you didn't get your order in, they're no longer even existent on Hasbro Pulse. I tried to search for it. It wasn't there. Maybe it'll pop back up in the next day or two, or when it does come for order. But let me know what you think of this week's news and review. I'm sorry it went a bit long, but there was so much news this week that it blew my mind. Like, subscribe, and tight hanger. Out.